What is up, people? Half Slab Bacon back with another snapshot update. So guys, are we into a good one? Can I update my world? Can you update your world safely? Well, I think you can already tell by the fact that my farms are going nuts behind me that, again, there's been some pretty substantial redstone changes. But before we get on to that, why don't we cover the rest of the changes in 16W44A that you guys might want to know about because you might notice them in your world. First off, let's change view here for a sec, and let's put our elytra on, if I can. Now, this is one of the issues, guys. There is a bit of a click issue with items in your inventory where they don't always release and go into inventory like they should, which is kind of annoying. It's not game breaking, but it definitely slows you down. Now, the next fix I would like to point out, previously when you had enchanted items on, including an enchanted elytra, just any enchantments on your armor, and you put an elytra on, it would go transparent, and you would notice that's not the case anymore. It is now rendering properly, which is actually a little sad because I kind of like the transparent cape. It was cool, but it was a bug and it's now fixed, guys. On to the next major thing. Previously, there was a bug with blocks that were not one high and sneaking, where you could fall off them like this and soul sand, etc. If you notice, this has now been fixed. Same with, slabs and all the other goodies. So any of the blocks that you used to accidentally fall off of before when you were sneaking because they weren't one block high, that issue is reported as fixed. I haven't tested them all, but from what I've seen, it's working as intended. One of the next major fixes, which makes me happy, is the issue where we couldn't get certain mobs to go up and down blocks. Now, this is reported as fixed. This is a weird bug. It pops up on and off again as the years go by. It was a problem in 1.9 with horses for quite some time, and they got the horses fixed. And if you watch my series, you would know it was a problem with polar bears and recently with llamas. So that appears to be fixed. Those are kind of like the major things, guys. A lot of other stuff was kind of small stuff, like the rendering on the fishing line needed some further tweaking, that kind of stuff. Nothing hugely substantial that you would notice. Now, on to Redstone. Let's try and go over this as quickly as possible, would we? So we would notice that my farms in the back here are going crazy. Like, yeah. I even broke a few blocks to try and stop the chain. You would notice, no, they're all going nuts. They are all going nuts. So they've made some observer block changes again, is the thing. And the only real one we need to point out over here is, I believe it was this one. Yes. So the fix before, after 39C, when they started making observer block changes, was basically to do something like this and to have this pulse back and forth to prevent the clock. And we can now see it's actually causing the clock. So that's not good. Now, the good news here is because they actually added a bit of delay on our observers, we still get our not quite zero tick pulse, but close enough that we can still get the bud behavior with pistons as we see when we activate them properly. So that's important to know that that's still there and that itself is not broken, which is an awesome, awesome thing. So with the new changes, I can kind of go back to the way things were being done in 39C and do this like that, and I don't get a clock. Curious what happens And I believe this is the way I had actually had it designed in 39C. Was like so. Curious what happens. Nothing happens. So we have to do it a little bit differently than before, but I'm hoping this is actually the permanent change, guys. Because it's as compact as it was in 39C. We're just flipping some blocks around. The next one, instant wire. The bit of the delay they have added has broken instant wire. As you can see, there is enough of a delay that, yeah. And you can also see, if we replace this with blocks and try and do it, nothing, guys. So there is some changed behavior with the observer block, and there's a bit of an issue right now. Did I not? I haven't figured out how to fix this yet, so it's going off for no reason. So we'll just do that. I was playing around, guys, trying to figure out the changes. Good news is we still get pretty much instant through wire with the observer block, as we can see here. It's still updating through blocks in all directions, yet one curious thing happens. If we replace the lamp with a redstone block, you notice that did not power? Watch the redstone. Oh, it did. Isn't that weird? Okay, because I was about to point out that over here, you would notice these clocks are now broken. Again, they were fixed last snapshot. This over here, if I update this side, should cause, you can see the power's going through, but we're not quite getting an infinite clock regardless, which is odd, because if I do it this way, you can see we're getting an infinite clock. So I'm kind of thinking this works as intended, because it's getting closer and closer as the days go by to the Pocket Edition behavior. Now we'll see that if we do this, well, it just plain doesn't work, right? We get one item goes up and gets stuck somewhere in here, and that's it, right? But there is a fix, guys. There's a fix with this clock. If we take this and we put this here, you'll notice again, nope, doesn't work. And that's to do with the timing changes with the comparators, okay? So in order to make this clock work, we need to now have a repeater here with a two tick delay. Otherwise, what's happening is this wire is actually pulsing faster than the comparator can translate the delay through. So if we do it that way, and I'm actually gonna, we can now see this clock is working, and silently and consistently. And that is important, guys. It looks like we still get the odd items stuck, but that's really not a big deal. That is important because one of the issues we've had since day one is with droppers and these blocks, that they're not functioning consistently, and it was more than just directional issues. But it does appear that that design is working. This design is working. And this design is working, as long as we put that repeater in. So we can still get a pretty fast clock overall. Not as fast as it used to be, unfortunately, and I haven't played around enough to figure out how to get a super fast clock with the observer, but I'm kind of working on it. Over here, we've got that delay going in here. We've got that delay coming out. I hate to say it, but it might just be faster if we go like that. Let's see. No. No, it is not. Unfortunately, it is not. And if we go like that again, that just locks up on us. So we have to go back to... Yeah, that's still faster. So it's faster than the old comparator methods, but unfortunately not as fast as it used to be, I don't believe. What if we take a look at the old fast clock this way? No, that is still slower than it is with our observer blocks. So we're still getting increased performance, guys. Overall, it's still looking pretty good. I'm happy with it. It looks like they're making a lot of improvements. Unfortunately, and I've actually put this as a separate bug, you can see we're not getting, even though the item's pulsing, we're not getting a pulse here. The bug that I thought was causing this has been listed as resolved, so I've put this in as a separate bug. We'll see what happens. Other good news for advanced Redstoners. We covered before how this kind of behavior, the air block up and top, was no longer working. Look, it's fixed! So we can now power these independently, just like we used to with quasi-connectivity. I know certain guys, El Mango, will be very, very happy about that one, guys. Very, very happy indeed. So on the whole, guys, there is a ton of changes here. A ton of good changes. I saw a couple people complaining about crashes, and I tried to reproduce them. So the word on that is I couldn't reproduce them. I haven't seen any crashes of any kind. So it looks like it might actually be a stable snapshot with some pretty good changes overall. The only downside is that the observers don't seem to be detecting updates of Redstone on top of blocks, and I'm not sure if that's intended or what they're going to do about that long term. We'll just have to see. There is a bug in already. I am going to watch the bug tracker, guys, and I think I might actually take a backup of my main world and start testing it with this snapshot and see if maybe I feel safe updating to it. So my recommendation right now would be maybe update your main world, but definitely try a backup first and proceed with caution before you actually permanently update, because once you go forward, you can't go back. And there are some issues like that inventory thing where I can't place a frickin' block. So yeah, guys, if you enjoyed, smash that like. And as always, if you're new, hit subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. Bye.